Bitcoin is pumping, but if we will crash towards $85,000, not one, not two, but $4 billion will be liquidated. Is the crypto retail about to get squeezed? Let's analyze. Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Salman from MCP Paradise. In the previous video that I have recorded for you 2 days ago on multiple time frames, I have told you that we are about to pump to the upside to maximum $90,000. At the moment we are already, however, above this level. We have reached $91,000. Does it mean that we are about to start pumping towards new all-time high? Well, in this video we will discuss that. I will also explain to you the reasoning why with Paradise VIPs we have closed our Bitcoin long position that we have opened at around $79,000 and we've already closed it at around $87,000. Okay, so I will explain to you the reasoning behind that and what I think with the highest probability will happen next right now. And we will start by looking at our social index and fear and greed index, what is going on right now with retail. So we can see that on a 4-hour time frame you can find this chart on our website for free, MyCryptoParadise.com. You can analyze it with me and monitor that with me on daily basis. We are at 0.80. all right, previously when we have been near this level we have crashed from around $83,000 towards around $79,000. okay, if we take a look at our social index that you can find right here, we can see that we are clearly at 80 points mark, where previously when we reached this level we have crashed from around $85,000 towards $83,000. Ladies and gentlemen, the sentiment right now across Telegram and social media is extremely positive. okay, that explains the amount of over leveraged positions in the market right now. As you can see on the short side we have almost nothing, right? But when you take a look at the long side, take a look at the liquidation levels and the amount of positions that will be absolutely wiped from the market if we crash only towards $85,000. ladies and gentlemen, it's really crazy. If we take a look at the liquidation heat map, you can confirm the similar thing. Above us there is almost nothing, but below us it's very juicy for the market makers to run the prices down there, make money for the exchanges they are cooperating with, and then go on and manipulate the prices further. From a technical point of view, that being said, it's very hard right now to push the prices through these resistances to the upside. Not only there is loads of supply zones above us, but if we will start pushing to the upside, all these over leveraged long positions that are in the market right now will start taking profits, right? And that will again, once you close a long contract, it opens a short contract automatically, right? It will again drives the price down. So the easier way for the whales right now, for the Bitcoin whales right now to make money is actually sell a little bit on spot, push the price a little bit down, all right? And it will start triggering all of these liquidation levels and it will automatically very smoothly ride the prices down. Together the whales opening some short positions at the moment. So once we are starting to crash towards $77,000, not only they will be able to buy cheaper the spot they are selling right now to push the prices a little bit down to trigger that liquidation levels, but also they will be taking their profits, right? So from this understanding, it's very logical that I don't believe that from these current prices we are about to start going to the upside to make a new all-time high and start pumping above $109,000, where, as you know, we have been selling all of our crypto and we do believe that we will have a better chance to buy cheaper and the chance will be at $44,000. And speaking about $44,000, you remember that since January 30 I have been telling you we are about to start going towards that level, towards $44,000, right? In fact, I have been talking about two most important levels, $77,000 and $44,000. The $77,000 was already hit, and in between I told you we will have a very small pullback. That will be the only pullback we will have in this deep correction cycle. And as you know, the pullback already started, ladies and gentlemen, and the pullback is taking a place of a zigzag, right? So the zigzag pattern that you can learn about on our website MyCryptoParadise.com is subdividing itself into 3 small waves, A, B, C, but also the A, B, and C each subdivides itself into even smaller waves, okay? And as you know from the previous videos, if you are subscribed in this channel, you know exactly what's happening in the market. I do believe that the A wave is already finished and we are right now in this B wave formation that I believe is taking a place of a zigzag. It can, however, be any other corrective pattern, but right now I do believe that we are forming it inside of the zigzag formation, and in fact we are finishing the first A wave. So let's analyze this formation deeply in this video in order for us, for you and me, to be clear about what is going to happen next with the highest probability. So I do believe right now, Paradisers, that we are finishing this A wave and we are about to have a B wave correction towards $77,000, but it's not going to be a straight path towards $77,000, right? The market is trading within waves and we are never forming a clear parabolic movements to the downside or to the upside where you have just straight up candles or straight down candles, right? And as a professional traders, in order for us to be long-term profitable, we need to understand the price action development. Not only have the best entries as possible, but also to analyze the best exit levels as possible, right? So at the moment, what I'm seeing on our ultra high time frame, ladies and gentlemen, is that after we have finished this impulse that started at around 23 March, we are right now in the zigzag deep correction that will finish at $44,000, ladies and gentlemen. Since our call of this stop, we have crashed by around 30%, and the question right now is how likely is it that we will start pushing over this $93,000? Well, we will analyze this as best as we can on multiple time frames. We will start right now on a weekly time frame. So what we are seeing right now is a clear structure on the price action of higher highs, right? So this was the first high, then we have created a higher high, and currently we are forming another higher high. But let's take a look at the volume. Is the volume also creating a higher highs? No, it's actually diverging from the price and creating lower highs, right? So for a price continuation to the upside or creating some new trend, this is extremely unlikely at the moment, because if you want to start pushing through some important resistances, and this is very important resistance, as you know from the previous videos, it is not only from the previous price action, a Fibonacci retracement level, but also a structural previous support that after it was broken to the downside will be acting as a strong resistance once retesting starts to happen. And we are trying to start retesting right now, but I don't believe that there is even enough steam for us to reach 93,000 from the current market price. The volume divergence is one of the reasons. Another one is on ultra high time frame, the RSI indicator. So if we actually compare the RSI indicator and what was happening 2021 in comparison with what's happening right now, you can see that before we started the deep correction that also resulted in a 55% crash, we have actually on the RSI indicator firstly crossed bearish right here. We have crossed bearish, so basically previously it was acting as a support, right? After we have crashed bearish, it was turned into a resistance. So right now that already happened as well, right? Here at around January, we have crashed the market little bit and we have started crossing the RSI bearish. That was also one of the signs that helped us to call the top at $109,000. Right now, however, we are retesting the RSI for a second time, okay? So we are having a bearish retest that happened in 2021 as well. And as you can see right here, we have not been able to cross above it just yet, right? And actually, if you take a look at the price action, the retest happened right exactly here. So firstly, with this candle, we have crossed below the RSI indicator. Similar thing happened this year as well. For a second time, then we have retested that. We had a correction, then we retested that for one more time. For a second time, basically, we have not been able to go above the previous high, right? And after that, we have started the crash towards $30,000. That was a 55% drop from the previous all-time high. So right now, we are in the second retest as well, ladies and gentlemen. I do believe that we will not be able to go by retesting it for a first time above it and start crossing and trending higher. I do believe that right now we will have a little correction, then we will retest it for a second time. That will nicely synergize with the 93,000 retest. Well, and then we will start crashing to the downside and the RSI indicator will be trending at around 30 to 25 points on RSI indicator, and then this will synergize with the $44,000. Well, and if you are subscribed in this channel, you already know that afterwards I do believe that we will start trending higher towards $240,000, ladies and gentlemen, towards this level. That is our next ultra high time frame target. So let's analyze the price action deeper right now. Let's zoom in inside of this B wave, ladies and gentlemen. Let's understand how the price action is developing. Let's get a little bit more confirmation. So let's zoom in into our daily time frame. This is high time frame chart for us. And as you can see on the chart right now, if we take a look at the volume as well, take a look at how much volume we have produced on this candle right here. As you can see, the volume was very high, above average actually, and that helped us to push the prices higher, right? However, right now on this new high, take a look at the volume. It's above the moving average trend line, ladies and gentlemen. So a clear divergence of volume versus price action. And that's just telling us that the probability of continuing higher and creating a new bullish trend from the current prices is lower, okay? So not only that, however, take a look at the stochastic RSI in overbought zone for a very prolonged period of time. Let's take a look at the MACD histogram. We can see actually a clear hidden bearish divergence, ladies and gentlemen. Let me show you what I mean. The price action is making a slight higher high. However, the indicator is creating an equal highs. So if you are in our MCP Free University, you know exactly one of the divergences that when you see on the chart actually decrease the probability of a price continuation higher. Additionally, we are also finishing the A wave of our ABC formation, ladies and gentlemen. That is basically the zigzag, right? Let me show you what I mean. This is the higher degree B wave. As we have been talking about, a zigzag formation is subdividing itself into 3 smaller waves, right? And right now I believe we are finishing the A wave and we are about to start a B wave that will take us towards 77,000, maybe even lower, but that's for another videos. Right now, from just broad understanding, I do believe that we are about to start finishing the A wave very soon, and we are about to start correcting towards around $77,000, ladies and gentlemen. That will be our B wave, often zigzag, and then we will continue higher and we will actually create a higher high than this previous one, and that will be our C wave. And I do believe that it will nicely synergize with the retest of $93,000. This is also the key high time frame resistance zone, ladies and gentlemen, and we will be able to retest this structure resistance together with a second retest of our RSI moving average trend line, and then we will start crashing lower towards $44,000, ladies and gentlemen. So from high time frame perspective, the probabilities are on the side of the bears as well. But let's go deeper. Let's go into a lower time frame zone, ladies and gentlemen, and let's break down this A wave and let's understand where it will start correcting, where this pattern is going to be finished, which will help you to make better trading decisions. Alright, so let's shift our focus to medium time frame. As you can see, on medium time frame, the momentum on our MACD indicator is already decreasing, creating another bearish divergence because we are creating a higher high. However, on medium time frame, the momentum is already getting weaker. If we take a look at the RSI indicator, we are heavily overbought, ladies and gentlemen. Previously, when we have been this overbought, we have been at around $88,000, and from here we have started the big correction towards $75,000. At the same time, we are at resistances, ladies and gentlemen. We are at this huge resistance that is created by multiple Fibonacci retracement levels, ladies and gentlemen, and also it is a structural resistance from the higher degree that I have been sharing with you already on the weekly time frame. And also we are finishing the A wave, right? So let's break down this A wave. As you know from the previous videos, the A wave is having a formation of an impulse. This was the first wave, this was the second wave, third wave right here, fourth wave, and then we have started an extended fifth wave that is finishing right now. And I do believe that this is already the fifth wave trading inside of an ending diagonal. However, because we had an underthrow right here, we are having right now on the final fifth wave an overthrow and also above this ascending trend line. Let's zoom in right now inside of the final lower degree fifth wave by looking at our lower time frame analysis chart where each candle represents 1 hour trading activity, ladies and gentlemen. So we have much better understanding what's happening inside of each bigger candle. And if we take a look right now at the volume on the low time frame, we can see a clear divergence as well. As you can see, a huge higher high, however the volume just not there. So again, it decreases the probabilities that we will have enough power to start overcoming this resistance and go higher. At the same time, if we take a look at the MACD histogram, there is another divergence. So even on a low time frame, the momentum is really starting to decrease as well. So that just suggests that we are about to start correcting very, very soon. However, we are also having an extended C wave, right? So as you know, in the ending diagonal that is subdividing itself into 5 smaller waves. If you are reading our article blogs on our website, mycryptoparadise.com, MCPinsights.com, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The ending diagonal right here is subdividing itself into 5 smaller waves, right? And each of the waves are being formed in a corrective mode. And the actionary waves 1, 3, and 5 are actually always zigzags. And right now you can see that we have already finished the first wave, the second wave, third wave, fourth wave, alright? And after that we have started an extended fifth wave. And the extended fifth wave itself is having an extended C wave, right? So you know that the zigzag subdividing itself into ABC, right? So this was the A, this was the B that was truncated, and since then we have started the C wave. And the C wave is always made out of an impulse or a leading diagonal, doesn't matter, but it always subdivides into another 5 smaller waves, right? So we have been starting to calculate these in the previous video already. This was the first, this was the second, then extended third wave, all right, that finished right here. Then we have the fourth wave that underthrow below the ascending trend line right here. However, we have finished above the end of the secondary wave, so everything was all right. And then we started to pump to the upside, and we had also an extended fifth, and we will right now zoom in inside of this fifth wave, ladies and gentlemen, to understand how soon we can start crashing towards $85,000. So let's zoom in inside of this fifth wave and we will take a look at ultra long time frame analysis, ladies and gentlemen. So basically the fifth wave started right here, and you know that the fifth wave itself is a zigzag, right? So I do believe that the A was finished right here, then we had the B wave, and then we started the C wave that was once again extended and formed inside of an impulse mode wave, I do believe, where this was the first wave, this was the second wave, this was the third wave, and right now we are finishing a fourth wave that I do believe will finish at $85,000. And the fourth wave, as you know from our website mycryptoparadise.com, if you're in our MCP for University, the fourth wave is a corrective mode wave, so it can take a pattern of any of these 9 corrective modes. And I do believe that we are having an expanded triangle right now, ladies and gentlemen. This is in a downward price action. We are right now in a bullish price action, so it's just inverted, but the rules are absolutely the same. One of the rules is that the expanded triangle usually has the B and D wave above the previous third wave. However, it cannot finish above the third wave, and I don't believe it will. I do believe that right now we will start going to the downside and we will create the final E wave right here at $85,000, and after that we will need to have the final fifth wave that I do believe will finish at around $91,000 to $92,000, or it can be truncated so it can finish lower at around the B wave, for example. However, I will be updating you about this in the next videos. Right now I do believe that the probability of starting very soon to crash towards $85,000 is very high, so that is the reason why with Paradise Family VIPs we have been closing our long position already. I don't have much time left to break down this price action right here, so I will leave it on the next video. You know that I'm recording every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday, and until then I wish you smart trading with trading strategies and tactics, and I will see you again on Thursday. Cheers.